The Duchess no more? Meghan Markle found herself at the center of a hostile reception at Dubai International Airport just hours after a new South Park episode aired internationally, one that didn't hold back in mocking her latest global brand reboot. What was meant to be a quiet, strategic overseas appearance quickly turned into an ugly scene as crowds reportedly booed, jeered, and even chanted insults referencing the now viral South Park parody. Far from the royal red carpets and curated Instagram posts, Meghan was given a raw dose of public backlash, and the timing couldn't be more damning. The South Park episode, titled The Privacy Tour, Encore, aired to explosive reception, dragging Meghan and Prince Harry as out-of-touch, performative celebrities trying to escape public scrutiny while courting maximum attention. With scenes featuring a cartoon Meghan peddling wellness products and desperately seeking endorsement deals, the satirical takedown didn't just spark laughter, it sparked outrage. For many viewers, the episode confirmed what they've long suspected: Meghan's public persona is less about service and substance and more about self-promotion and spectacle. And Dubai, a city known for its luxury but also for its no-nonsense attitude toward celebrity posturing, was not having it. Meghan had landed with plans tied to a rumored brand deal and an elite networking event. Instead, she was met with a crowd who had clearly seen the episode, chanting phrases like "Go back to Netflix" and "No more pity tour." According to eyewitnesses, security had to be ramped up as tensions escalated. Meghan, visibly shaken, was quickly ushered through a private corridor as phones flashed and commentary swirled on social media within minutes. What makes this public fallout even more significant is how swiftly international opinion appears to be shifting. Meghan Markle has positioned herself as a modern woman fighting against archaic institutions, but critics argue she's simply traded royal palaces for the palace of brand deals, celebrity endorsement, and curated victimhood. The Dubai incident wasn't just a moment, it was a mirror held up by the public, reflecting exhaustion with what many see as performative activism and relentless PR spin. To understand the backlash, we must also consider Meghan's recent string of controversies. From her failed Archetypes podcast to the cancelled Netflix animated series Pearl and the lukewarm reception of the As Ever brand, critics argue that Meghan has been trying unsuccessfully to rebrand herself as an inspirational mogul rather than a divisive figure. South Park's episode didn't just parody these efforts, it exposed their shallowness with scathing clarity. It lampooned a woman who says she wants privacy, all while chasing headlines, center stages, and luxury sponsorships. The real kicker? It wasn't just expats or tourists reacting in Dubai. Reports suggest that even some Middle Eastern influencers who once courted Meghan's circle have begun to back away. One attendee of the cancelled networking dinner where Meghan was to be a keynote guest told a local outlet it's no longer fashionable to be seen supporting her brand. It feels hollow, disconnected, even arrogant. For someone who once commanded international respect through royal ties and bold activism, this growing perception is catastrophic. This isn't merely about one bad day at an airport. It's about a global audience finally tiring of a narrative that seems to have worn out its welcome. Meghan's carefully curated image strong, misunderstood, rising above is losing its grip. The South Park creators didn't invent the criticism. They just gave voice to what millions were already thinking, using their platform to highlight the contradictions in her public life. The monetization of victimhood, the relentless pursuit of celebrity under the guise of privacy, and the packaging of personal grievances into Netflix-friendly content. In the past, Meghan might have responded with a carefully written essay, an emotional podcast episode, or a glossy magazine spread. But now, with real-time humiliation and increasingly loud public rejection, the playbook might be running dry. The world isn't watching with sympathy anymore. It's watching with a mixture of skepticism, eye rolls, and, in the case of Dubai, outright hostility. And as the dust settles on this latest disaster, one thing becomes chillingly clear: if Meghan Markle can't even walk through a luxury airport without being dragged through the proverbial mud, then maybe the tide has truly turned. Not just on her latest venture, but on her entire brand. Because when even satire starts to feel like reporting, maybe the joke isn't just on Meghan, maybe the world has already moved on. And that's the most damning reality Meghan Markle may have to face, not just mockery or critique, but irrelevance. When satire begins to echo the public's genuine sentiment, it means people no longer separate parody from truth. The South Park episode wasn't just a comedic sketch, it was a cultural statement, one that many around the world seem to agree with. Meghan, once seen as the fresh, progressive face of modern royalty, now feels like a tired headline, recycled, repackaged, and rapidly losing resonance. Her every move now seems to provoke more eye rolls than applause. From being booed at sporting events to facing empty seats at public appearances, the public isn't just turning away, they're doing it loudly. The Dubai airport fiasco wasn't an isolated incident. It was a culmination, a boiling point, a message loud and clear that the world isn't falling for the PR glitter anymore. Meghan may still have platforms, partnerships, and cameras. But influence? That's something no brand can buy back once it's lost. And if the laughter from South Park is louder than the applause at her real-world events, then it might be time for Meghan to realize the audience has left the theater.